OC, what's up, baby?
Oh man, I'm just vibing and bouncing to the beat, man. You know, we got a lot of Cowboys news to talk about today, man. Super excited, man. Super excited.
Yeah, so we gonna be continuing the series because it wasn't no series at first, dog.
Yes, sir. There it is.
There it is. It was no series at first, man. So we got to talk about it, though. We talked about part 1. Now we got to do part 2, bro. The Stephen Jones experiments.
We shall see, man. You know, some interesting stuff been going on the last couple of days, man. We gonna save a little bit of it, but I'm telling y'all, as y'all clock in and y'all come into the building, man, don't forget to hit the like, the share, and if you ain't had enough sense to subscribe to this channel, you can go ahead and fix that right now. Hit the subscribe button, turn on your bell notification icons for the latest and the greatest in Cowboy sports and news.
There it is. There it is. Man, let me turn up this music, man. Let's go. Let's go. Alright. So this the thing. OC, man, just kind of talking it through with the big bro. So, man, you know, in my opinion, man, before we kind of get started, I always felt like we've been kind of focusing, and not me and you necessarily, but the nation. I think we've been focusing on the wrong stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, like focusing on feeling like we'll play away. I don't think it's that at all, bro. I might end up fighting you again tonight. You know what I mean? Because you was wrong on that Philly stuff. Turn it up.
Oh no, now we go see. We go see. We shall see.
Yeah, we gon' see, dog. Yeah, but you was wrong. No, OC go on, man. Y'all know he a veteran, yeah. He killed this thing. So we gonna talk about it, bro. We gonna set the record straight today. You hear me? Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let's get it. Let's go. All right, here we go. Let's go. Come on in the building. We see y'all coming. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Hit the fire emoji. Don't forget to smash the like button. It's time to put in some work.
Let's go.
Damn, plug. You speak Swahili?
Yeah, I do. Alright. So the last time we was here, man, I went 2 hours, bro. And we was talking about the 3 experiments that, in my opinion, have been the breakdown to the Dallas Cowboys. Alright. So, and thank God we got the OC in the building, man. We be getting a lot of people asking about you too, bro. A lot of people be like, "Where OC? OC?" I'm like, y'all don't be missing me. Why y'all missing him? No, I'm playing.
Oh man, they love Boss Cowboy, man. Don't make no mistake about that, man.
They got love.
Yoga fire.
But the 3 experiments was one. First one was about forcing team friendly with no leverage. Right. So we not gonna recap that too much because I already spent about 2 hours breaking that down. But just to kind of recap, the main part is the fact that he also admitted it himself, OC, right? So when you go look back and look at these articles, you know, after he went through all this, you know, rigmarole and wee-woo stuff, Stephen admitted that it was a mistake and costly to delay paying Dak Prescott. So we went through the very preliminary math, okay, of the contract values on the average per year, where he had an opportunity to sign Dak Prescott for $28 million. It ended up being $40 million because they was running up their own price. So we kind of played with the numbers and we estimated that it was a cost of around $60 to $80 million, right? Which you can never make up for. You can never make up for that. So, but not to kind of sweat that, the big deal is this, and then we go move on to point 2 and part 3. Okay. This is the big deal, just to kind of get down to the nitty gritty. If we look back in the past, and then I want to get your comments on this. So the Eagles extension for QB Carson Wentz, and this is in 2019, where he was averaging $32 million per year, is good news for Cowboys QB Dak Prescott and Rams QB Jared Goff. Both price tags went up. So the reason why it's important to talk about that now is because we got some other people that's pending enumeration, looking to be paid, right? So we got Jared, we got Daniel Jones seeking $45 million, and Hurts having his starting price around an average of $50 million. So I'm gonna stop right there and let you kind of roll with it. What you got?
Yeah, man. I mean, at the end of the day, man, I mean, this is funny. I never thought I would talk about a New York Giants quarterback on this channel during one of our shows. But here I go. Here I go. Daniel Jones? Daniel Jones? $45 million?
Yes.
Daniel Jones?
Yes.
Jones?
Hold on. Is that a fart noise?
I'm gonna make an extra fart noise. Daniel.
Yeah.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did he make a Pro Bowl?
No.
Did he make a Pro Bowl?
No.
Did he throw for more? Did he throw for more than 4,000 yards?
What's up, Miss Charles? No, he did.
Did he throw for 35 touchdowns?
No.
Then what are we talking about here? Daniel Jones?
We talking about the market.
So here,
it's the market. Is what it is.
And I'm going there. And
Yeah.
I'm going there. Here's the deal. Here's the deal, guys. You can see that every contract in the quarterback market in particular, and most contracts, are built upon the other contract.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, if Daniel Jones sniffs $45 million, then right now your higher tier quarterbacks are going to demand $50 million per.
Right.
So people like Lamar Jackson, people like even a Derek Carr, who actually was cut before he was due, around $40 million on an average per year with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Right.
So his price has gone up. So his price, he's not going to sign for less than an average of, I would guess, in the neighborhood of 42 to 45 million. But if Daniel Jones signs first, and then remember this, guys, this is all about who signs first.
Yeah.
Who signs first
That's right.
dictates the price for the next guy.
Right.
On and on we go. It's a continuation of events. It's, if you imagine dominoes falling, that's what it is. And so that's really why, guys, it behooves the Cowboys to be very, very judicious and wise in the handling of Dak Prescott, because of the fact that you're going to be paying even more money if you don't handle this wisely.
Yeah, and that's the big thing right there. Another thing that's big, OC, is the fact that obviously Dak, his cap hit, if we don't extend Dak, is going to be $49 million. So
yeah, well, we talked.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
No, we talked about this a little bit before. Right after we got knocked out of the playoffs, you got 4 guys, if you don't do something with their contracts, that you're going to pay a total of $92 million. That's too much. So you're going to have to restructure, extend, figure out how to chop down salaries or cut people, right? You're not going to cut Tank Lawrence because it's going to cost you too much, right? You got to pay him $26 million this year, unfortunately. Right. And no offense to him, he had a good year. But for that type of money, you want to see a lot of productivity as it relates to his sack total. And you just don't get that from Tank Lawrence at this point in his career. You also got to pay Zach Martin around the neighborhood of $16 million or so. Right. And then you got to pay Dak Prescott $50 million. And you got to pay, Ezekiel Elliott a chunk of change if you don't restructure, extend, or do something with his contract. So that's totaling up your $92 million with just 4 players. And so for the Cowboys to be smart and fluid if you have a good quarterback, and Dak Prescott is a very good quarterback, it makes sense to restructure and extend at this point.
Right. And I think that's what a lot of people not understanding, that part, OC, is this cap hit. Because I see people, some people in the chat, some people in the comments, why pay Dak Prescott? Because in their mind, most people think when you see an average of 50 per year, they think that's going to be the cap hit. So his new contract was an average of 40 per year, but the first 2 years of the cap hit was almost insignificant for a player of his stature. Can you explain that, OC?
Yeah, I mean, basically what happens is that when he got his brand new money, it was kind of like an accelerator, right? So it was a step up. So people see an average of $40 million a year. That doesn't mean that he actually made $40 million every single year. You have sign-on bonus, right? You have workout bonuses, and you have your base salary. And so when you look at 2023, which is right here in front of you, you see a large base salary of $31 million, and then you see the signing bonus of $13.2 million, right? And then beyond that, I mean, you also have his cap hit, which you see there, right? So, you know, at the end of the day, it's about what years, and this is the best way I can say it, because I think people get it this way. It's about what years in that contract are you paid the most money that has the biggest impact on the cap.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about the contract number itself. And so this year in particular is really the push year. It's the step up year in terms of getting a ton of that money that was on that $160 million deal, right? About 50 million of it in 1 year, right? Which is a massive chunk of that money. And so if you want to be competitive and you want to have the flexibility to make moves and do things, then you got to deal with that in the sense of that particular number. Now, another thing that people really don't understand, and I'm going to expound upon this just briefly, is that people don't really understand the quarterback landscape. They don't understand it. And they don't understand it in this sense that you can hate Dak Prescott, you can love Dak Prescott, but Dak Prescott is a productive quarterback. Dak Prescott is a quarterback that is a very, very good quarterback. Can you say he's elite? I don't think he's quite elite. I think he's very good. But it's even hard to find a very good quarterback. It's extremely difficult. So you can't just go out here and just easily replace Dak Prescott. That's not going to happen in today's NFL. It's not going to happen.
Right.
So it's not going to happen with any rookie draft pick. That's playing Russian roulette.
Exactly.
Right? That's not even a 50-50 proposition.
Nope.
That's a proposition that 9 times out of 10, if you do something like that, you're going to lose. You're going to lose.
Right.
Because you got a guy that's 20 or 21 years old versus a guy that's almost 30 that has 8 years of playing experience in the NFL. And even Dak's rookie year, and this is what people don't give Dak credit for, and I do want to give him his flowers on this. He played at a Pro Bowl level his rookie year, which also is an anomaly. Mm-hmm. It's very rare that you have anybody come into the league and play that well their rookie year, which is the only thing that helped him stay in that position of quarterback for the Cowboys. Go ahead, boss.
Nah. So let me ask you a question, because see, some people will look at this show and they'll just get extra negative, or they'll think that we being extra negative, because I do see a silver lining from making a huge mistake like Steven said. First of all, the first silver lining, and tell me if I'm crazy, OC, for real, be honest with me. The first good news is that he actually admitted it. Okay? Because you can't correct what you don't admit in nothing, right? So we in talks right now with somebody who publicly want to say, hey man, I didn't talk right, or something like that. We gonna wait to see how it play out. But that's always a good sign when you see people willing to say, you know what, I could have handled that better. You know what I mean? That's one of the silver linings. But the main silver lining right now is that it's mostly quiet. That's the other good news right now. Because see, if you lost $80 million, how do you repeat that same mistake again? So like, cause Bobby Belt, and then I'm gonna pause and let you kind of talk about that real quick, OC, because back in those days, Bobby Belt was one of the best people that was on the right side of history, where he was saying they're going to pay Dak regardless. So why anyone would be in favor of waiting any longer and letting the market rise is bananas to me. So did they learn, OC? Did they learn? Or they go fall for the bait of trying to go after that publicity money, you know, which they usually do. They go after the publicity money. Am I tripping for having a little bit of hope that we might be smart this time and get that deck out the way?
Well, you know, when you have Alcohol Anonymous and any steps to recovery programs, they say, you know, the first thing that you need to do is admit you have a problem.
Right.
Like, that's the number one step. They call it 12-step program. Step one. That's the step. Admit that you have a problem.
Right.
Now, here's the thing. It depends in what context the admission is, which is very hard to decipher on the outside looking in. It really is based upon his decisions from here, because some people admit that they're wrong so you can get off their back. So you just can stop saying that they were wrong and that they just are sick of hearing everybody pounce on them. And so they get tired of running, and then they stop and say, okay, I was wrong. I get it. I was wrong. But the intention and the motivation in the heart is not to change. See, that's a different kind of wrong. See, the different kind of wrong is the solitude, it's the grief, it's the I'm truly sorry and I won't ever do anything like this again wrong. See, that's the repentance that leads to change, okay? And so that's what we're hoping that we have in this situation. And the answer to that is this: it remains to be seen.
Yeah.
Because how will this be handled in the media and behind closed doors with Dak Prescott? And as far as what I've heard, and no shots fired when I say this to anyone, okay? This is no shots fired on my part, but when I hear stuff about CJ Stroud and things of that nature, it's okay, what are we doing here?
It's the wee woo.
What are
Thank
we
you.
doing?
It's the wee
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee woo.
Right. So I don't understand how you can even contextualize that in a realistic evaluation of where the Dallas Cowboys are and what are you going to do with this organization. So now I think that you may have said you're wrong just to get people off your back.
Yeah.
So I want to see some more action to show that you're wrong. Furthermore, and I'll end on this one for now. You may not do this with Dak Prescott anymore, because his agent and Dak Prescott did something that the Dallas Cowboys front office have to respect. They showed that they had cojones. They had a pair. They had a backbone, and they didn't fold. And they were willing to wait out, do whatever, and not fold. So they know going into this negotiation, you better show these men some respect, or this is going to be a long, hard negotiation. And that is the truth about the Dak Prescott situation. And if they do not make accurate and, like I said, have fiduciary responsibility over this cap in a meaningful and a smart way, this is gonna cost the Cowboys yet again more money.
OC, I got a wild theory. You probably go hate, but let me take the super chat first, real quick.
Go.
My boy said, I was a Romo over that guy because of one thing: experience. That logic ain't changed. Not for bringing in a rookie over Dak's experience and knowledge. Absolutely. That's why I hate the clickbait on that. I hate it. But I want you to hear me out on something, bro. And I want to hear from y'all too in the chat on this. All right. I'm willing to lose this debate. I'm cool with it. But I talked to Coach Marv, and you know me and Coach Marv, we start kind of digging into some thoughts, right? And one thing me and him was talking about, that on this one, on this next extension, I actually think Dak should be team friendly. I think he should. And I'm going to tell you why. Because this window could open wide open if they don't play chicken with each other. You see what I'm saying? And usually when the Jones put their foot down, they haggling over like $4 million in a total contract. It's something that's like, y'all was held up over that. You know what I mean? So it's almost like Dak, in my opinion, should say, you know what? I got a window right now with a good team, with two good coaches, Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn. It is nothing in my way right now. Let me go ahead and work with them, make them feel like they won. You know what I mean? So that we can open up this window with my extension to start getting me some bars up in here. Because I feel like the second contract is the contract you put your foot down on. You know what I mean? That's the one you like, nah, you're not going to disrespect me. No, you're not. But this contract, I might work with them on. Only because I could also say, you know what? Me being here, I'm sponsored by Jordan. You know what I'm saying? I'm making all this endorsement money. If they get in their ego, I'm not going to let that crash this opportunity. I'm not going to let their ego trying to win by forcing team friendly on me. I'm not going to let that happen. Now, I know it's my right to demand that I get a market contract. It's my right, but I'm going to let you win. What's your thoughts on that, bro?
I think it depends on where Dak Prescott's head is, right? So this is what I think. It's one or two ways this can go. Dak is gonna, and his agent, right? Because think about this, it's not just Dak.
Right.
It's his agent.
True.
It's his agent's reputation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's his agent's ambition and goals, which he has a high-powered, very, very successful agent. So the likelihood that he doesn't get a market contract, to me, is very low.
Right.
Unless Dak Prescott stands on the table and says, yes, pay me less. Now, the only guy that we've had do that in NFL history has 7 championships. His name is Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
He consistently took below market contracts to try to be team friendly to get pieces so they can win. So I don't know if that's going to be Dak's story. Now, here's the thing that you do have a point on. Dak Prescott has not outplayed this extension in terms of performance because he's had injuries, right? We've had the thing about the interceptions, which we know all those were not his fault.
Yep.
He's had like a series of unfortunate events since he signed that extension.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's played okay, but he hadn't set the world on fire, right? And so for those reasons, if you're being honest in yourself, yeah, you may look at doing a team-friendly deal. However, if you care about your money and making as much as possible, you're not going to do it. You're going to do what he did his basically all the way his rookie contract. You're going to bet on yourself and you're going to say, you got to pay me market. And if you don't pay me market, that's fine. I'm not going to extend. I'm not going to restructure. I'm not going to re-sign, and we'll take this thing all the way to the end. I'll bet on myself this year and play well. I'll bet on myself next year and play well. And then now you're going to pay me $60 million a year. I'm going to walk and somebody else is going to pay me that.
Yeah.
So this depends on where Dak Prescott head is. That's what I think.
Yeah. And this is not me siding with billionaires. This is still siding with Dak, this idea that I have. This is basically saying they got a track record of being very obstinate in these negotiations, right? Like most people didn't peep the fact that they was only off by $4 million in total guarantee. And Wentz and Goff had better contracts than Dak was getting offers on total guarantee, and Dak was just clearly outperforming them. So when they have shown that they can just overly put their foot down, you know what I mean? And to the part of even sabotaging the team, as the quarterback of the team, maybe you say, man, me letting y'all win on this measly $4 million. Because $4 million not measly to me. It's not measly to you. But maybe the Dak in the long-term legacy plan, I think I say, man, I'm not going to let these egos get me. And then Trey said Dak will get extended to $49 million a year to clear up cap space. I can see that. What's your thoughts, OC?
Yeah, I think Detroit got a really good point on that, man. Good comment. I think that that's the easiest way because he's the biggest cap hit. It's just common sense, right? So if you want to like alleviate cap space, the two biggest hits, and I would hate them to do this. This is one they don't need to do. I would rather do the third, and I'm going to explain what I mean. If you want to alleviate cap space, you got to deal with Dak Prescott's contract, number one. Number two, the second highest contract that I think that you should just pay him his money and let him go because of where he is in his career is probably Tank Lawrence, because you're going to pay him $26 million this year, and I just don't think it's worth for you to extend the guy that's past 30 to his mid-30s or something like that with his productivity level in terms of sacks at this point. I don't think it makes sense. Now, you're going to pay Zach Martin $17 million or some 17 to 16 million. I think if you want to extend him a year or two, I think that, yeah, you probably could get some decent bang for your buck there, right? That's what I think are the main things. But here's the thing. We have, criticized Dak or critiqued Dak for being too much of a company man, Boss Cowboy. And so with that in mind, if he does want to be a homer, if he wants to be a lifetime Cowboy, it's likely if anybody's going to do it, it would be Dak Prescott, being that he's already had a chunk of a payment in terms of this huge contract. So that's possible, right? I could see him being on the same side of Tyron Smith with the longer term deal with a lot of guaranteed money spread out over a long period of time with his personality type, if he has the affinity and the like and respect for the Cowboys. Now, if he doesn't, boss, it's going to come out in negotiation, and you won't see that.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to get into point two now. So we had to visit experiment one. So what we talking about is, in my opinion, we are breaking down the real breakdowns of the Dallas Cowboys. So one was so important because then when you really understand how much money they lost in trying to play hardball and force Dak to be team friendly with no leverage, and looking at the pending QB market as it stands today, that's why, to be honest, experiment one took so long to explain, because we had to go through the history and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But now getting into experiment two, right, which to me is still a breakdown, because these are preventable issues in my opinion, OC. So just to kind of recap experiment two, and then we go talk about the breakdown of experiment two, where basically, and he didn't have to do this either, we're basically going to get ball wonders so he can pay players less. So let me get into that. Don't believe me. Don't believe the OC. Some of y'all might think we some YouTube wannabes, so don't listen to us.
Don't
listen to us. Listen to the Hall of Famer. Here we go.
Mike, Troy was talking about your guy beating beating the man on the other side. We're worried too much about scheming guys open. Is it on the receivers? Is it on the coaching to get the receivers the ball?
Now. That's the NFL now, guys. I've been talking about that for a while. When you see it, and that's why, as we start rating guys, like we want to rate wide receiver, oh, he's better than him, he's better than him, and we do it on numbers when it's system beating system.
Hold on, real quick. Let me explain something real quick. Man, you funny, boy. I can't stand some of y'all, boy. This dude, I figured you out now, bro. This dude a nut. He say, Fish told me not to listen to you YouTubers. I talked to Fish today. He's saying the total opposite, big dog. Fish is not on that. I literally talked to Fish today. You stupid. Man, you crazy. Nah, bro. Listen, dog, all that stuff is being squashed as we speak. So anyway, let me go back to it. Yeah, messy, bro. Messy. Nah, man, come on now. Let's chill on that. Here we go. But going back to this real quick, experiment two. Listen.
Now, stop man beating man. That's why you're going to get these so-called boy geniuses. They try to figure out a way to beat a system, and then
yeah, boy geniuses.
They try to figure out a way to beat a system, and then I can get less players and come back and beat better players because I'm beating a system. The days of man beating man, We'll never have them again. We'll never have those again. And sometimes it takes away from when it's just time to get down, dirty, and gritty. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things I've always explained. Troy's right. Troy's right. We're expecting now the coaches to come in and design a way to make a man get open, and then instead of expecting the man to use his talents and gift and get somewhere and get open.
Yep.
Mike.
That was the whole breakdown, and that was what Kellen Moore was about. That's exactly what Kellen Moore is about. What's your thoughts on that, OC? I need you to expound on it, too.
You know, this goes, yeah, I am, and this goes to a deeper issue. You know, and you know, me and Boss Cowboy, we both have sons, all right? And have you ever had your son come up to you, Boss Cowboy, and say, look, Daddy, look at me, look what I did?
Yes.
And he did something good. He wanted you to be proud of him. He's looking for affirmation.
Yeah.
Stephen Jones is still looking for affirmation.
Ooh.
He's looking for significant. No, listen. This is deep. This is for real, though.
I'm listening, bro.
He's looking for affirmation, and he's looking. He's looking to put his footprint in the league and on the organization by one of his ideals, changing the game and being significant. Think about how hard it is to be in a house when your dad is Jerry Jones, and you had everything given to you.
Yeah.
And you want, and your dad is such a business marketing genius and such a trailblazer, so now you got your chance to run the team, right? It's being left to you. You're the heir apparent, right? You're the heir. And so you want to do something of significance. And I think that's a part of the reason that we're being forced to sit through some ideals that are not the best, because at times you do this when you're pressing to make an impact, you reinvent the wheel. You're being more creative. You're trying to be more creative than what you really need to. And that's why I made the video right after the Super Bowl, and that the Dallas needs to study the models of other organizations that have been successful as Super Bowl winners. Okay?
Yep.
You don't have to per se reinvent the wheel. And I think the root of this is a part of the significance and making his own mark. And I think that is the root of some of the ideals that can work against the organization, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Elaborate, though, a little bit more. And then, real quick, Rhonda said, Boss Cowboy Sports, I like what you said about the bias in the NFL. No one is saying this. Thank you. She talking about me basically speaking on race. Yeah, because it's real. It's real. And I'm going to come back to what you're talking about, OC, but I want to respond to that. Because a lot of people feel like it's taboo to even have race discussions. And society is now teaching that it's not politically correct to even talk about it. And they say it out loud. The things that I don't talk about is race, religion, and something else. You know what I'm saying? It's
politics.
Like, and politics. It's like, no, that can't be a standard. That can't be a standard. Those are actually the three things you should be talking about the most.
Right, it causes the most division.
But we should be more so talking about these things in a civil way. So I was saying that, well, most people don't understand what I'm saying. I'm gonna explain it real quick and then go back to what we was talking about. It's a lot of good meaning white people that's not racist, but they're biased. And their bias is causing racist results. You know what I mean? So to them, if you're a white owner, it might make you feel more comfortable to be around a white coach. He might listen to your music. He understands your culture. He understands your upbringing. Just like me, you, and the final word, most of us black. Why? Because we naturally blend with each other. We like the same musics. None of us racist, but it could appear that we are because you see a whole black staff. You see what I'm saying? That same type of dynamic can happen, but then as a result, you start seeing too many of them because most people going with biases. You know what I mean? So, yeah, just what's your thoughts on that before we go back to what we was talking about? And Landlord said, sub boss and OC, I don't think Dak was a company. Wait. You said sub boss. I don't think Dak was a company guy. I think he was being a good friend and cat. Okay, I see what you're saying. That still is kind of company man.
it's very. I mean, and I don't want to, hey, look, all respect due, but I mean, look, if you're running plays that's making you throw interceptions, and you don't speak up and say anything about it, that is being company.
Yeah.
It's being company, right? Because our friendship has nothing to do with me forcing you to take L's.
Right.
Me and Boss Cowboy's friendship has nothing to do with me trying to force him in a bad business situation where he about to lose a lot of money, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So if that's the case, he has every right, and he would, to step up and, hey, no, this don't make sense. I'm not doing that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. On and on, it's go. Exactly. So in certain situations, if you're going along to get along, that's considered company when you have a voice. And you should say so. What did App say?
That boy said that is company man-ish.
Yes, 100%.
It is
100
ish. That's real. It is. It's in the family. So I say both of you right. You know what I'm saying? Landlord and then the OC right. That it's not exactly company man, but it's in the family. It is. So then Matt with the super chat say
it's the first cousin of being company man. Okay,
man, real talk. And then Matt said Stephen Jones' way failed us from winning Super Bowls. Sooner tried in 10 years now. Just spend the money. Let's try. Yeah, man, I agree, bro. I absolutely agree. You know what I mean? But I also want to speak with hopes in Stephen, because this is one thing that me and Coach Marv was talking about before we get back. Stephen Jones is still owner in training. I want y'all to feel me on that. He in training. He's still in training. See, because Jerry could have been stepped in at any time. But see, Jerry is allowing his son to make mistakes, y'all. He giving his son room to do it his way so that he can sit back and learn from some of these things too. I know it hurts. DeShannon said, either way, Dak should have said no more options. I agree. I totally agree, DeShannon. But see, check this out. So Jerry could have stepped in at any time. And I want y'all to kind of think about Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan was the main reason they lost that Super Bowl versus New England when he was at Atlanta. But look what he is now from that loss. He was a pass-happy OC who dropped the ball on one of the biggest comebacks in Super Bowl history. Or the biggest, right? But now he's committed to the run from that mistake. I don't quite want us to get an attitude like Stephen Jones is an idiot and it's impossible for him to change. I don't believe that. I think some of these ideas he believed in and he went all in on them. The real question is, did he learn? And that's what we go see coming up soon. What's your thoughts on that, OC?
Yeah, man. When I was a young boy, my mother told me to stop playing with that hot iron. I was on the ironing board. I don't know if you guys, people just go to dry cleaners today, I think. But she told me to stop playing with the iron because we used to iron our clothes like on an ironing board. We would iron everything, right? So it was manual labor, right?
Right.
And she told me, stop yanking the cord, stop messing with it. And what did I think? I thought my mom was trying to stop from having fun. Why are you trying to stop me from having fun? I'm just playing with this little cord over here. I ain't doing nothing. I kept yanking on the cord. Stop playing with the cord, son. Stop. It's going to hurt you. I kept playing with the cord. Guess what? That iron fell down. Look, I have a burn on my stomach today.
Right.
From that iron burned in my stomach.
Right.
So you'll change, and you'll stop playing with things that could hurt you.
Yeah.
When you get burned.
And see, he got burned. And he admitted to it. So we gonna see.
Yeah.
See, another thing that he low-key admitted, but not quite admitted, with the firing of tournament, because we talking about the mistakes he made. What we go see is, did he learn? See, that's what's remained to be seen. Because see, Kellen Moore is gone. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't think that was going to happen, OC.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was going to happen. That
surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, that surprised me.
I thought it was a long shot.
I thought it was a very long shot. Because I knew that was Steven's boy. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that getting rid of Kellen Moore would have been. Check this out, y'all. Check this out.
Back to the decision ahead on Amari, his usage, not just production, but in terms of how often he was targeted, even when he was on the field, it was down.
Mm-hmm.
What do you make of his relative lack of involvement, especially for someone who's got the contract of a number one wide receiver?
I just think it's an offensive philosophy, and with when we had the skilled players that we had, between Kellen and Dak, I think there was a progression of where you threw the ball, and depending on how the defense played you, it would point the ball to certain places where, hey, if they're going to double over here and they're going to double over the top over here, then that's going to dictate that the ball goes here. So I think it's more of a system deal. It wasn't a thing where we just said, hey, we're not going to target Amari as much.
So when he admitted that it was a system deal, he basically saying what the playmaker was saying, that he put the ball wonder over the athlete. This was an experiment, and they spent all season trying to fix it. Tolbert didn't work. It was too much to throw all them option routes at him, right? You couldn't get Turpin on the field. How you gonna have somebody read a defense and they not used to reading defenses, and you got to be on the same page with that? Yo, Gallup didn't work. You know what I'm saying? He didn't work, right? So none of that stuff worked. None of that stuff worked. So you put your system in your experiment into ball wonder, and he basically admitted it. Let me play this, and then you got it, OC. Here we go.
Based on the system, then does that make financial sense? You're not getting your investment dollars.
We go through all that.
See, this is the thing, though. Going back to it, Michael Gelkin asked the right question. He said, is that the right system? Listen.
As much.
Is that the right system?
You heard it? He said, is that the right system? And Stephen Jones go immediately turn away from that. Watch.
As much.
Is that the right
Based
system?
on the system, then does that make you're not getting your investment dollars?
We go through all that. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to get into individually this stuff, but yes, all that plays into how we invest.
So we know at the end that Amari was the loser on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, he ended up being the loser on that. Just keeping it real. So this is another one of those experiments that I honestly feel like derailed and hurt our opportunity to get past San Fran. Because I showed this list the other day, OC, and then you got it, big dog.
That's all good.
Where would Amari and CeeDee Lamb rank, right, if they was on this list? Where would they rank, bro?
I would say at least number 2. Worst case, number 2.
God dog, number 2.
Worst case. I'm saying worst case. Worst case, number 2, if not number 1, because Hill and Waddell, man, I mean, Hill is they tore it up, you know what I'm saying, with that offense this year. I'm saying, and then you had some injuries to Dak, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you would have got like the max production out of them without Dak not playing the whole season. So I'm saying even with this season, worst case, number 2. Number 2 tandem in terms of production. Worst case.
Worst case. Ooh, we would have been
worst
dope.
case.
The numbers say you right, though.
Yeah.
The numbers do say you right. Yeah. When you add up what Amari did over there with the Browns, with those wee-woo quarterbacks, and you look at what CeeDee Lamb did with us. Now, I'm kind of where Big Santana is, but I'm not tripping on your optimism, OC, because the numbers do say your optimism lines up. But Big Santana said top 4. I would have said top 4 easy on some being conservative. You know what I mean? But I can also see where you right on that.
Top 2.
Top
Look
two.
at CeeDee's production. Look at Amari's production, right? And then they would have been 2. Worst case 3. I'll say 2, 3. I'll downgrade, but I'm thinking they would have made it up to 2. I think they would have been slightly more productive than Higgins and Chase.
That's
if you
dumb.
look at it, because
that hurt.
You can't double them. You can't double them. You got them on opposite. Who can you double?
Ooh.
Who do you run to? Who do you what's that group? XJ. Who do you run to?
It's Mr. Nasty.
Who you run to?
God, dog. Ooh, OC, just the thought
Yeah,
of that
man.
hurt, dog. Don't that hurt?
Yeah, man.
Do that hurt?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
You had a great-
hell no.
You had it. You had a great opportunity, but I'm gonna say this too, because this is important.
Right.
I don't think that Stephen Jones is a bad guy. I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't think he's a bad person. I think that he is really trying to think through what will be best for the team, right?
Yeah.
And what will be best long term for salary cap and for money, and for the empire, so to speak.
Right.
I think that's where his thought process is.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
So I don't think it's personal or anything like that. I don't think it's that. I think it's just sometimes you have to, and I think that he did with the firing of Kellen Moore. You have to divorce a bad ideal. You have to just divorce, like you have to understand that, okay, this was my ideal, but my ideals can't be taken so personal. And I have to be willing to part ways with my ideal if I can clearly see it has not worked. So that's where I think.
Go ahead. I missed the super chat. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's where I think he is. Go ahead, take the super chat, bro.
I'm trying to find it. Somebody said I missed a super chat, but keep going. I need you to elaborate.
Yeah, no worries. But that's what I think about Stephen Jones. I think that he's tried the ideal of system. He's given it 3-year run, what have you. It didn't quite work out, and then the other team won that did not have a system that was committed to the run, like Mike McCarthy was saying, and so that hurt that case, right? That's a bullet against that case. Right. Yeah. And then you have the ideal of receiver by committee, which low key he almost tried again this year. Low key.
Oh no.
Without CD Lamb. Without CD Lamb, it is receiver by committee. It's 100%. Throw it up in the air and see how much spaghetti lands on the wall. Right? Because you didn't really have a bona fide number 2 with the Michael Gallup coming back from an ACL injury. I said as much. We said as much, if you follow this channel, that is, months ago.
Yeah, we did.
Months ago.
We did.
Before the season started. And that's why we were always an advocate for you to get a other legitimate number 2 wide receiver.
Boy, these super chats you play on me, bro. Let me catch them up. I'm sorry. It's adding up. So DeShannon said that was playing so they could say Coop stats down. True. They phased them out. They did. And then Amp said, sometimes you got to fall on your face to elevate. See, that's also true too. See, some people feel that this is not Amp hating on Steven. He just saying as a development, like he could be developing from this. Like, I don't want to be the person to where the sky's always gray and it's going to always be evil with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, maybe he learned. We go see soon, but and then I'm gonna show you some things that kind of make me kind of have some pause. And then we got another super chat. He said we hit on Turpin, Henry, Sam, Ferguson, Davis, Clark, Bland, plus Fowler, Meyer hit. Cowboy looks like he genius. He won't change this year. I agree. See, that's real though, because in terms of building teams, he actually good at it. That part, his aggressiveness at the end to close it out is where he weak to me. This is to where, like, if I had to build a team that was weak, I would chill and don't even sweat Steven. I would let him do whatever he need to do, because he got the balls to be cheap, because it take balls to be cheap too. It does. It take balls to look at good players and say, nah, we go wait till the draft. We go wait. You know what I mean? And I'm going to trust my guys to go get us what we need. I would trust him to build a team. I just don't trust him to be able to put the final touches to close out. I don't trust him on that. And then on the super chat, she said, love your no fear transparency. Thank you. Oh yeah, that's how we rock over here. See, we wear our independence with pride. Like we do. Like we not scared. That ain't how we rock. I appreciate that though. Like, and we know it's powerful for us to be able to kind of say what other people can't say. So we go kind of stick to that. But go ahead, OC. I caught up on the super chat.
No, you good, man. That's all I was gonna say and finish this, and I'm gonna kick it back to you. Is that, to your point, Stephen Jones does build a good team. He builds a competitive football team. It's competitive every single year, but it's the little nuances and things that you want to deal with to help take the team to the next level. Back to you, boss.
Yeah, and I'm gonna show you something real quick when we go through this. Matt said, I don't hate Jones, just hate he don't spend money. God get players, keeps him on the winning bowl. God bless, and I wish the best for Jones for life. And I actually do think he spend money. He spend money, but see, he don't spend money on outside free agents. So landlord said, see, I want y'all see. Landlord said it best. Shout out to the big homie landlord. Landlord said it best. He said, when you really looking at the way we team build, you gotta look at our free agents as outside free agents, and then you will appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? When you go look at now, you see what I'm saying? If you go look at, if Tank was a free agent last year, would you have been happy for us getting him? You see what I'm saying?
At a cheaper number, yes.
Yes, right. If you would have looked at T.Y. Hilton earlier, not when we got him, but earlier, you would have been like, that was good. You know, Jason Peters the same way. Because a lot of people talk about Sue, but Jason Peters was basically the Sue for offense, for what we needed. You know what I'm saying? Now Sue went to their defense, but he did what he had to do for our offense. Hank is the same way. You know what I mean? You know, when you look at some of our own guys that we retain, like Dak, like Zeke, in terms of having talent here, he actually spends money. And I want to say something too, a little bit to his defense. When you go look at the contracts of these guys, they are actually good contracts. You know what I mean? We are the only team that continually have more of our best on 5 to 6 year contracts. On the highest, we'll have 8, which gives him a lot of flexibility to move cap space around for talent if need be. I'm not too mad at his way of budgeting. What's your thoughts on that, OC?
Yeah, no, I don't think that he has a problem with the budget part. I think he has the problem on pulling the trigger with big outside opportunities.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Because I think that it's theoretical too, in my opinion, to the background and just his comfort zone. Some people are comfort zone people. If you're a cheap 1-year deal, I don't have to commit to you, I'm comfortable with bringing you into the Cowboys. That's historically what we've done. If you're homegrown, it basically means that I know you. I'm familiar with you. I've been around you. I don't want to take a risk of an outside strong voice coming in here and not agreeing with me or messing up my culture or it not being a fit relationally. And that's why I believe you don't see many viable, really good free agents come and be signed to the Cowboys, because it's an organization, but it's really run like a small family-owned business.
It is.
Even though it's like a multi-billion-dollar corporation. That's how it's run. Like, I don't know you, I ain't comfortable with you, and then I paid you all this money over 5 years. That's why the Jones, and with Steven especially being in charge, he's not going to do that. Now, conversely, his father would, because his father dealt with it less emotionally, more pragmatically, and just looked at the talent of the individual. That this guy is talented, he can help us here, aka the signing of Deion Sanders and a couple others. Go ahead, boss.
My boy T say, boss, can I have some of that Kool-Aid? Yeah, bro, you can have it. Yeah, but bro, I'm not panicking like some of y'all. See, some of y'all be panicking. Y'all be killing me with all that panicking. Bro, we spanked Philly. Philly had a lighter road, bro. If we really just look at it, everybody like, but Philly made it to the Super Bowl. They had to go against the Giants, and when they finally played Purdy, they hurt him. We would have went right through San Fran if we would have hurt him in the first quarter. We would have went right through him, bro. Come on now. So some of this, if we really look at it in its total, y'all panicking. I know what's really going on. Y'all just want him to be aggressive in free agency so you can feel better. I don't think he need to do it.
Yeah.
I really don't think he need to do it. I think he does pretty good right now. But this is the thing that I'm going to say, going to 3 before we get out of here. All right? Because I know your son getting ready to come in.
Yeah, that's cool. Go ahead.
So the experiment number 3, replacing through the draft versus building. All right? And my issue with him is, with these experiments, is he really doesn't, in my opinion, build through the draft. He just replaces through the draft. So he replaced Murray with Zeke. He replaced Romo with Dak. You know what I'm saying? He getting ready to replace Tyron Smith with Tyler Smith. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that's to a degree a build. because they was actually there together, which made the other guy great insurance, you know. But when it came time to receivers, they didn't build, they replaced, right? They replaced Dez with Amari. Then instead of building and keeping those guys together, they replaced Amari Cooper with CeeDee Lamb. Listen to this.
There day one. You know, some of those things, you know, I think caused us to make moves that I think we'll look back on and say, hey, I'm glad we made that move. And certainly, you know, if we keep Amari, I don't know that we're able to re-sign Gallup.
What? Let me rewind that in case y'all didn't hear that. Listen.
We'll look back on and say, hey, I'm glad we made that move. And certainly, you know, if we keep Amari, I don't know that we're able to re-sign Gallup. And
so what is that saying, OC, when he say, if we would have signed Amari, we likely wouldn't be able to keep Gallup? What is that saying?
I like to keep our guys that I'm comfortable with. That's what that's saying to me.
Yeah, it's saying
I want to keep our guys that I know.
He chose Gallup over Amari. That's what it's saying to me.
An injured Gallup.
Right. So that's
you know, no offense to him for getting. Go ahead.
No, you go.
No, I was just saying that's the thing that doesn't make sense to me. The comfort, because of the relationship, causes you not to make the logical and the most prudent decision sometimes. And that's what I think. I think that's the issue. And I think that, like I said, I don't think Steven's a bad guy. I don't think he's a bad general manager. I just think it's tweaks to how you conduct business that would help you really, really go to the next level. Now, I am going to push back a little bit, Boss Cowboy, because you said we don't build through the draft. We only replace. Well, since Dan Quinn has been
we
here,
mostly replace.
Okay. Well, since Dan Quinn has been here, we've actually built on that defense through the draft. We have a tremendous amount of depth in that DB room, and that's through the draft. That's through building through the draft. We got a lot of bodies, and it's just a combination of draft and free agency, I would say, like cheap free agents.
Disagree.
Like, I think Dan Quinn did a really. You disagree? Why
a little bit.
Fight back. Why?
A little bit. Just a little bit. Because remember,
Israel. You got Israel.
Yeah, no. I'm with you. But who did Diggs actually replace? Byron Jones.
Byron Jones. Yeah. Well, here's the thing that we know, and I think you're right. They would have cut Byron Jones in 2 years from now. He didn't get no interceptions. Just like Miami.
Boy,
that's what would have happened. They would have cut him. I'm just the truth. It's the truth. You know it's the truth. Because we always fought him. Look, we always talked about that on why you didn't need to pay him a lot of money, because he was a cover guy and he didn't have the ball skills. And he wasn't going to give you no game-changing plays by making interceptions. And after they paid him a lot of money, the Miami Dolphins figured out the same thing that me and you said about 2 or 3 years ago.
And see, John said the draft and marshals on defense, that DQ made it work. I agree. So that's the middle ground. I think John kind of kept us from fighting, because you know I was getting ready, bro. Ooh, I was getting ready. Yeah. John, you're a peacemaker. Thank you, John. We need people like you to keep world peace going, big dog. Because I was getting ready to go in on the big homie, man. But now, I think that's the perfect compromise of really what beat the defense. So, and I appreciate that also, OC, for pushing back on that, because you actually more accurate. Like, when you really kind of put it together, they did build that defense through Marshalls and the draft. I agree with that. You're right. But I see mostly, just keeping it real. Oh, and see Big Santana, man. I don't know. See, we got some pushback on you, big dog. Awuzie,
okay, come on,
was replaced, not added to.
Awuzie.
Yeah.
Huh?
See, we replace it, and I'm saying keep some of these guys and build through the draft. Put on top of what you got. That's what I'm saying, OC. And
I got you,
but
no, it's
I gotta
cool.
It's official. It's official. Let the fight begin. I'm sick of it.
Come on.
I'm sick of it. You're getting on my nerves now. Let's go, bro. Let's go and fight this out.
Come on, bro.
Let's go and get it. And then, because I really wanted to finish because I had some more points. Because see, Regina and Reggie, we already see through you, big dog. Yeah.
Hey man, you can
We
shake your
replace,
head,
bro.
say whatever you want. Yeah, but what I'm saying is this, man. You can say replace, where it's a combination of replace and build, because Dan Quinn's impact on this defense, you would not have got Darren Bland. You would not have got Bland. You would have not got Israel. You would have not got Kelvin Joseph. Right? You would not have picked these guys up. You would not have picked. You would not have picked these guys.
You was doing good.
Listen, you would not have picked these guys up had you kept the old guard. Okay, and that's what I'm saying. Now, you did have Hooker, who you brought in. You did have J-Ron Curse. You picked up great, valuable free agents straight up.
Yeah.
Right? And so, you do have guys there that are draft picks that you saw contribute to this team. Yeah. Also, Nashawn Wright as well. Nashawn Wright being a draft pick, right, coming into the building. Listen, I'm telling you, I gave you like 5 examples. I gave you 5 examples of doing more
you see
than
this
just
guy?
replacing
See this guy?
the draft.
Number one bullshit guy.
Okay,
he do the wee woo.
You was doing good,
wee woo.
You was doing good.
I'm just telling you. I'm telling you. No, I'm not fake news.
It's
I'm
all
telling
fake
you
news.
that at the
It's
end of the
phony
day,
stuff.
it's not fake
It didn't
news.
happen.
No, it's not. No, it happened. It happened because we drafted all these players. I'm saying we would not have drafted all these DBs. I'm talking about the defensive side of the ball. That's not wrong. I don't care how many budget you hit. It's true. You would not have got all these players if you would have actually kept some of these older players that were marginal players. That's what I'm saying. Okay, all right, that's fine.
Listen, y'all, I'm gonna set the OC up with some butts one day because I know I be playing up firm when I be hitting because he can't return fire. It's actually not right for me to button him up like that, but see, because I know he can handle it, that's why I do it. He not sensitive like that, But I think you made some fair points. I was just trolling you on a couple of them. It was just a couple of them I was trolling you on.
Good.
The Sean and Kevin.
That's fine.
Bro, stop. But the rest of them, they were some good ones. Israel, Bland,
young players.
You, dog. I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. Listen, I was just trolling the homie. On partially, he was right. On partially, I agree. You made a pretty good case. Especially when you're talking about Israel and Bland. But Israel, he was kind of late in the season, but I will allow that. But this is the. Go ahead. No, you go, dog.
No, all I was gonna say is this: you can poo-poo Nashawn Wright and Kelvin Joseph, but at the end of the day, these are still young players on rookie contracts. These both will be third-year players. You can hit the far button, hit it 2 more times. I don't care. These are still young players because, no, wait a second. You can't do that and then you give said DB, you give a certain DB 9 lives. Who has had 9 lives?
Oh, Anthony Brown.
Who's had 9 lives, boss?
Anthony Brown.
Okay, so you can't poo-poo these guys that are going into their 3rd year and they because they're not perennial Pro Bowlers yet. And say, oh, you're just horrible when you gave this guy into 6-7 years, man. You can't do that. That's not fair. That's all I'm saying.
Who just got in the car?
My son.
All right, man. What's up, little man? How was your practice?
He said, "What's up, back?"
How was your practice?
It was good.
Did you dominate?
He said it.
I heard it.
Yeah.
I know you did.
He said he dominated.
What you do to show out today? I want to hear something good. What you do? Don't take too long. You live.
Hard.
Huh?
I hit the ball hard and fielded well.
I know you did, man, because you a champion, brother. Yeah, that button for you. Matter of fact, is it okay for me to give you a yoga flame?
Yeah.
All right, here it is.
Dracarys.
Hey, listen, I had to do that because, see, y'all don't know Jabari, his whole family, I called him by his real name, the OC.
That's cool.
That boy got him some ballers. Trust me, y'all look out for the OC sons and daughters, not just his sons. He got him some monsters. Ooh, professional baseball players, professional football players. I think one of them gonna be the next Donovan Suit, and I'm dead serious about that. If he, So I just want to give a pause to shout out to my youngster that's in the car. I promise you, Uncle Boss not gonna say not one cuss word, mainly because you in the car, brother. All right, and love you, man. Love you, and glad you're doing good at practice, man. All right, here we go. So the experiment 4 is our guys. That's the thing that, to me, and we almost out of here too. That's where he messed up, man. Is that our guys' philosophy? Because that's what, in my opinion, OC, what this whole thing was about. We're going with Michael Gallup over Amari Cooper. He gets too aggressive on some of his philosophies. What's your thoughts on that, bro?
Right. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, man. I think that it limits you from taking advantage of good players. And then the issue is that I think that you have to take a separation emotionally, and that's where I'm talking about psychology and sons making fathers proud and things like that, because I believe some of this does go to psychological stuff. Because the thing that got Amari Cooper cooked was him speaking out.
Yeah.
And this is a professional football team. Do you want your best players to be passive, mealy-mouth, and act like they're schoolgirls? You don't. You want men. You want alphas. That's what makes them great.
Schoolboys too.
Schoolboys and schoolgirls. Not being sexist there. All right. So, hey, you don't want them acting like little kids. That's my point.
Right.
So, you can't have a dominant Pro Bowl player and emasculate the man and tell him he can't speak, and worse, penalize and punish him by trying to ship him off to an organization that you thought it was gonna be bad, right? Ship him off to nowhere and hurt him, right? Because they didn't have a quarterback, then they got Deshaun Watson. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't do that kind of stuff because he disagreed with you, he disagreed with your philosophy, he spoke out. You have to be able to deal with it as a man and agree to disagree and still make the right decision for the organization as being the leader and the CEO. And the right decision, the best decision would have been to keep Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm talking about the emotional and the psychological part of it, because this has happened with a variety of players. And that's the part where basically internally you got to mature and grow to be a better CEO.
Right.
That's what I think.
All right, man. So real quick, before we get up out of here, man, y'all make sure y'all rock with us tomorrow, because we got the Final Word Draft Show coming up tomorrow. We dealt with the weapons on week 1. We dealt with running backs on week 2. If you haven't watched those shows, you make sure you go watch those shows. They was obviously very good. Tomorrow, it looked like everybody's super amped up to talk about corner. I can't wait to see that. Like, I've been getting all their list, and the ranks is setting up to be a very, very, very good show. We also in potential talks with Fish and maybe some others, to where, you know, he want to come out and kind of give his thoughts on the CJ thing, and I'm cool with that. We gonna see if we can make all that happen. You know, maybe we do, maybe we not. We still got to run it by the whole team and just make sure it fit everybody's schedule. Make sure it fit everybody, you know, trust meters and everything. But anyway, OC, what's your final words before we get up out of here, man, on Stephen Jones and potentially his experiments and how we can end up being better? And Matt, we sure appreciate we getting up out of here, Matt, but we always appreciate you, man. But what's your final words?
Yeah, I think that at the end of the day, you know, Stephen Jones can build a good, solid team. I think it's just the tweaks, and I think the emotional discipline as it relates to making right decisions when it's not a guy you're most familiar with, and making the right decision for the organization. If it's a player that can help you, you need to gamble on that. And I wouldn't even say gamble. I would just say do your due diligence and be sure you're comfortable with them as a person and make the signing that can help you, right? Let go of players that are injured. Don't re-sign players that are injured to big deals if you can keep a guy that's healthy and continue to draft well. we got the makings of, a great team this year. We got to make some tweaks to go to the next level, I believe, and I think we can do it. That's my final thoughts.
So my final thoughts, man, is we go see in the near future if Stephen Jones is preparing and going to be. I missed the super chat. Hold on real quick. Let me see. Let me get these super chats, bro. I almost missed it. Thanks, Amp. Amp said I missed some super chats. Y'all give me a second before I get into these final words. He said I missed it. Can you see those super chats, OC? Or you driving?
At all.
Okay, I see your super chat. My boy Amp said, at the end of the day, it's still a matter of philosophy. Bolstering the lineup brings a higher price tag versus replacing. To win, you gotta spend. Ooh wee. Yeah, good.
Yeah, and that's my sentiment, Amp. 110%, man. You cannot have a tight budget every year and win. You get what you pay for. You get what you pay for a lot of times in the world. That's really how it works. So can't expect from 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds unless you're driving a Bugatti, baby, or unless you got a Lambo.
Yeah.
Right? I cannot drive a Camaro. Right. I cannot drive a Camaro or a Mustang and get from 0 to 60 that fast. It just doesn't have the capability. It doesn't have the horsepower. That's the key word, horsepower. So you can't score against elite defenses in tight situations if you lack horsepower. Right? You need horses, man. You need horsepower. And to get horsepower, the only way to get horsepower, like the horsepower you need, if outside of developing in the draft, which is a way, that's the issue. It's a way to get players. It's not the only way. The Cowboys are great drafting, but it's not the only way. And what I've seen, and look at the Kansas City Chiefs, the Super Bowl winner. They've got great players in the draft, but they've also been aggressive getting free agents that can help them. I think they're the model.
Yeah.
And so I agree.
And then my boy Leo said, you guys are too much of Dak homos. At least Fish says the real deal. All right, bro. Leo, I've been watching your comments. No, hold on real quick. I've been watching your comments, bro. My test to you, Leo, let's see if you can talk about anything outside of Dak. Okay? Because I see your type all the time, and that's okay. Some people like you think the whole team revolves around the quarterback. You think your quarterback is going to pull you out of any issue. I understand that. I want you to try, though, Leo. I really do want you to try. Try to talk about something for just 2 weeks outside of that. I just want to see if you can do it. I'm just curious. Well, go ahead, OC.
No, all I was going to say to Leo is, hey, thanks for the comment, man. Thanks for watching the show. Your voice matters. But I got a question for you, Leo. If we're Dak homers, who do you replace Dak with and get equal production? Who? Tell me that. Who? Who can you get right now that's available on the streets and that will be equal or better than Dak Prescott? I'm interested to hear that response.
He gone.
Just curious.
He wanted a reaction. That's why he threw out Fish name. At least Fish keep it real. You don't even listen to Fish. You don't listen to Fish. Stop. Stop. He just wants to say something.
Because Fish talk a lot more than... Yeah, Fish talk a lot more than it's just about Dak Prescott, first of all.
Right,
so
yeah,
anyway.
It's all good. But Matt said, you're good. I'm sorry for crazy. I just want to spend a bit of money to win Super Bowl. Yeah, I agree, man. We going to have to spend some money. So, yeah, and then, thank you, Ronda. Ronda say he don't understand contracts. Exactly. It's like, it's a waste right now to talk about Dak with that no trade clause. It's just, we might as well talk about Santa Claus. Like, real talk. It's just,
right.
Just real talk. It's like, come on, some of y'all need to catch up. And some of y'all need to learn how to really talk real football. Like this blamey stuff that we do, that's not really like going to do anything. Just being honest with you, it's not going to help us to be just a complainer when you don't have no real true solutions, bro. Just being honest, you just just try to offer some solutions. But real quick, and then we go close up out of here. See, with experiment 1, we getting ready to see what's up on them. We go see this soon with Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, and an extension for Dak, and nobody talking about Terrence Steele. Well, people talking about Terrence Steele, you know, other people talking about Terrence Steele, but we got some big. I missed another one, man. I miss your super chat, common sense. I'm gonna need help. I'm gonna need somebody to. I'm gonna have to get an admin, bro, because ain't no way I can produce shows and see all this at the same time. I'm sorry, common sense, bro. Common sense, put your comment back in there, bro, and I'll address it, because I don't see you cook. I'm gonna have to just keep my phone on too. That's what I do. I keep the show on my phone. That way I catch it that way. So, but what I was saying is we getting ready to see. I'm sorry. Yeah, but we getting ready to see. So we gonna know about if he's improved on that. I'm hopeful, but I'm not holding my breath. All right, experiment 2. He actually did something to that. So I'm gonna give him a hand clap on experiment 2. Because he actually got rid of that ball wonder. We ain't got ball wonder. You know what I'm saying? So he's actually made an improvement on that. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate Steven Jones for that. That's an improvement. So number 3, replacing through the draft versus building. We getting ready to see. We gonna see. We gonna see how this whole thing play out, and then we gonna give our final judgment as we wrap up the draft. We'll be able to come right back to this show and say, okay, how did he do on experiment 3? All right. Then 4, the Our Guys philosophy. The Our Guys philosophy not gonna play out, in my opinion, until training camp starts. You feel me on that, OC? To where we can see what he's 100%. Doing. Where we can see what he's doing with these guys as they're competing. You know what I mean? So we go keep our eye on this, y'all. Right. Y'all trust me, we go keep our eyes on all 4. Because right now, he doing one of these well. He done got rid of Kellen Moore. I didn't even think he was gonna do that. So when he do something that I didn't expect him to do, I do say good job. I'm not gonna continue to cry about stuff that he's better at. But the other 3, we gotta wait and see. OC, can you close us out, big dog?
Yeah, man. So first of all, thanks everybody for giving us super chats. Your support is helping us grow the channel and make some changes you'll see coming out here in the near future. Also, thank everybody who put money into the Cash App, $ BossCowboySports. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, please. Please. Know we got a good amount of people in the building. Hit the like button, please. Helps us to get recommended. Really helps us to grow the channel. If you haven't subscribed, what in the world are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button. Turn on your bell notification icons so you get the latest and greatest in Cowboy sports and news. Also, follow Boss Cowboy Sports on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can also follow me, the OC100, on Twitter. Until next time, guys, we'll see you.
We'll see you. Love y'all, man. Run it up. Y'all already know.
Run it up, run it up.
Another one.
Let's get it.
Huh.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
Need the cash pronto. I don't throw in a session like Romo.
Another one.
If we locked in, switching up.
Love y'all, man. We really appreciate y'all, man. Let's run it up.
Run it up, run it up.
Let's get it.
Huh. Another one.
Bring it real back. He be speaking his mind. That boy with the shit.
Let's go.
Run it up, run it up.
Boss Cowboy Sports.